Welcome back to CordcuttersLI, where we help to save you money on your cable bill. Now listen, there's a lot of noise out there right now about how Amazon is cracking down on third-party streaming apps across Fire TV devices. And if you've been seeing the headlines or the fear-mongering videos out there, I don't blame you for being just a little freaked out. So let's just take a deep breath and relax for a minute, shall we? Because today I'm cutting through all the drama and breaking down what exactly is going on, what we know, what we don't know, and what I think a lot of people are just guessing at. That's coming right up. Oh, and stick around until the end, because as promised, I'm finally catching up on that giveaway I started back at the end of June. I said I'd be giving away one on 4K plus streaming device every month. Well, I've only given away one so far. What can I say? Life happens. But we're making up for lost time. I'm giving away these three today. So make sure you stick around to see if you're one of the lucky winners. And if you haven't entered yet, don't worry. There's still more of these to win, and I'll explain once again how you can get in on this epic giveaway. So if you're ready to see what all the hubbub is really about with these Fire Sticks and all that, sit back, relax, and let's go. Okay, so let's dig in briefly to all of this Fire Stick stuff that's in the headlines, and people all around YouTube that talk about the streaming world and so on, are the sky is falling, so on and so forth. I think a lot of it is fear mongering, getting you to click on stuff and just views and whatever else. But we all do some of those things to try to get you to watch our stuff, but some of this gets a little too far. Here's where I think this started. It's always been a cat and mouse game between Firestick, Fire TV, and even just the streaming world in general, and the people that want to watch what they want to watch without getting into detail. I think you know what I mean. Who always wins? In the end, it's always the people that want to watch what they want to watch get to watch what they want to watch, right? And I don't think that's going to change. That's the Cliff Notes version of this story in a nutshell. But in any event, as you know, Amazon continuously makes changes, and then the developers out there adapt to those changes, and there's sort of an ebb and flow to the whole thing. But going back to, let's say, back in June, this was sort of the first time that we saw Amazon could potentially actually do things to remove apps intentionally from your device. And that was real. We all saw it. It happened. I don't think I made a video on it. I started to, and then I said, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. So in any event, what that did was Amazon was actually removing apps, third-party apps, streaming apps from Fire TV devices, and you'd get a message like this saying, app is disabled and so on. And there were 3 or 4 or 5 apps that fell into that category. But it was later determined that it wasn't removed for privacy or piracy reasons. It was more removed because those apps may have contained malware and stuff. So, sort of a virus scanner, so to speak, at a high level. So that said, it doesn't mean, if they can choose to remove that app, I guess they could choose to remove other apps. And so then, then the decision is, well, which apps? And that is where basically all the information that's discussed about these come out to 3 reports that are found on the internet. Now, I'm not going to go through every one of these articles and so on in depth, but I'm intentionally leaving the URL up here at the top so you can go to them, to these 3 articles that basically this entire discussion is based around. And I'm going to just touch on each of them really quickly before we can get to that big the giveaway that we're all waiting for. So let's jump into the first one. This was back in October 31st. AFTV News is great. Elias, he really reports some really good stuff. He's mostly on the mark for the most part with what he's doing. And so for the most part, very often you can rely on what he says. That said, it says Amazon to start blocking sideloaded piracy apps on Fire TV, confirmed by Amazon. At first, this ad came out, or this article came out, a little bit less. There was more information added later. Just a few days ago, I think the 3rd or 4th, he added this part. Now it's confirmed by Amazon. So apparently, Elias had spoken to some Amazon spokesperson that confirmed to him that through an expanded program led by the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment, that's ACE. These are the people that are behind all the big box office movie, production, theater companies and so on that want to block all the piracy, and for good reason. There's a lot of money that's spent to make this stuff, and they want to, protect their interests. So apparently, what the word on the street is, and that's really all it is right now, it's the word on the street. Okay. Don't take it for anything more than that. Basically, that Ace is going to be working with Amazon. Long story short, what this says is that Ace is going to be working with Amazon. They're going to provide Amazon with a list of all the bad guys, all the bad apps that are out there. And starting in Germany and France, starting now, they say, some of these apps are going to be removed. And, it goes on, explains how this is all actually going to happen and so on. But again, it's very, very speculative. This is one man talking to a unknown spokesperson at Amazon. Not a knock on Elias. I don't, I'm not saying he's lying or anything, but really the fact of the matter is we don't know. We'll wait and see. That's always the best strategy. The next article talking about it is very similar. This is from another fairly reputable source, Cord Cutters. That's me. Cord Busters in the UK. Is reporting basically the same stuff. If you just go through here, you can read a lot of this. Again, Amazon spokesperson provided through an expanded. It's almost word for word the same. There must have been like maybe a fax or a statement or an email that went out to the people that pushed, some inner contacts at Amazon or whatever, and they shared this information. So it is what it is, and the bottom line is, like I said, cat and mouse game. Who's Tom and Jerry? There's Tom and Jerry. I can't remember who's the mouse, but the mouse always gets away, right? That's what happens. There was a lot of talk if you recall, like a year or two ago, there was a lot of talk about, Amazon is going to, introduce this new Omega operating system that's going to take away our ability to install third-party apps on our Fire Sticks, or the Fire Stick in my house. They're going to block it, and the thing I bought and paid money for is not going to work like it did anymore. Well, we proved that to be wrong. They did come out with a Fire TV Stick 4K Select that I think all of us on YouTube and the world that tried this thing decided it was crap. Or no more of a good streaming device than maybe a Roku. It's maybe a glorified Roku with a fancier name. And that's really about it. So that one doesn't allow you to sideload apps at all, let alone piracy type apps side loading. So that was Amazon's thing. And if you saw, that not only did they keep the existing Fire Stick line with the Fire OS that allows you to sideload apps or install third-party apps. Bottom line, those devices are still available, and I think will continue to be available. Again, I could think whatever I want. Everybody could think whatever they want. The fact is, until it happens, you don't know what's really happening. The third article, and this one is the most, we'll use the word hearsay type of thing. The Sun. This is the U.S. version of the Sun. This is actually a British tabloid newspaper. If we're not as familiar with the Sun here in the United States as people over there in the UK are, but I equate this to the National Enquirer, so I don't really believe pretty much anything that I see from a tabloid like this. Here's the bottom line. None of this stuff is going to affect us until and if it affects us. And, worrying about, what to do, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's useless. It's a waste of energy. It's not healthy. It's not good for us, right? So the best move I can think of is just wait and see. Would I go out and buy a brand new Amazon Fire TV Stick right now? Probably not. And I wouldn't suggest you do that either. The thing is, we don't have a number of things. Like I said earlier, I'm going to show you what we do know. I'm going to tell you what we don't know and the difference, right? This is all we know. We know a few people that are reputable apparently spoke to somebody at Amazon that said this is happening. Well, that's a lot of hearsay, and that's a lot of unknowns, right? And so until something actually happens, we're not going to really know, what's going to happen. I feel like I'm rambling, but that's the bottom line. If something happens where apps don't work anymore, the cat and mouse game is going to continue, and the mouse is always going to come up with something to get away from the cat. That's as simple as it gets. Let's not make any rash decisions and go out and, throw away our fire sticks. I don't really think that's going to be necessary. But again, Cord Cutters LI will be here. If things change, we'll roll with the punches. We always do. We always have. I think that's about all I want to say on the topic. Basically, let's wait and see. Okay, so the moment we've all been waiting for. We have 178 unique entries. We have probably had about 210, 220, but some people decided to put 2 comments. As much as I'd love to read your comments, only 1 entry per person, so as the rules say. So let's go ahead and click, and we're going to pick one at a time. And if this works the way I think it is, it'll allow me to remove that person from the next spin, and I'll keep track of all the winners and so on and so forth. So let's give this a shot, shall we? Let's go. Okay, so the first winner is at Gary B 9467. And let's spin again for the second winner. Okay, congratulations to at Jeremy DeWitt Council 8524. You're the second winner out of 3. We'll remove you from the next spin. Okay, let's spin again one last time. Okay, the final winner out of the 3 drawn today at Frozen Male 43. Interesting name, but you're a winner. Okay, we'll remove you for next time. And there you go. Those are the 3 winners. Like I said, I will be posting a comment in the post in the community section. I'll also post a comment down in this video for those 3 winners. Probably post it also in that original video for the people that I'll post it all kinds of places. I'll try to reach out to these 3 people in any way I can, and let you know how to go about getting in touch with me, so we can make sure you can verify who you are, that you're the person that wrote that comment and entered the contest, and provide me with the info of where I can ship it to you. So you will have one of these on 4K plus streaming devices heading your way. Congratulations. Okay, so real quick, I told you I was going to show you how to enter to win in case you haven't entered already. You want to go to the CordcuttersLI channel here, and then click on where it says posts right there. And then you'll scroll down, you'll see it's the last post right here. Talks about the giveaway, explains some more. You can click read more, a little bit more about it. But then right down here in the comments, this is where you're going to want to comment. Just put a comment of where you're from. Again, this is open to USA people only. Do that, and you will be added into the drawing to win next time around. I think there's 2 or 3 more of these we're giving away. Okay, so there you go. A not so short and sweet video this time around. I tended to ramble a little bit in the middle there. My apologies for that. But listen, folks, just don't get all fired up about this. This is not the end of the world. This is not a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. We will get past this if it even happens. There's no timeline. There's no guarantees. There's no nothing. I'll stop beating a dead horse right now. Anyway, congrats to the 3 winners of the on 4K plus streaming devices from Walmart. Happy to send them out to you. You guys at least won't need to worry about any fire sticks or anything like that, right? So if you enjoyed anything you saw here today, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, share this and all of your favorite Cord Cutters LI videos with your friends. This not only helps to get my videos shown to more people, it also helps to support the channel. Thank you so much for watching.